Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Here we have the family house map for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. And upon first look at the map, most folks are going to think it's kind of small, but if you study it a little bit, it's pretty sizable. Now, there's a sense of verticality to the map, and I'm going to get into that in a second, but let's just start at the beginning and kind of look at the map itself from the top. Now, over on the right-hand side, that's going to be the front of the house and the driveway that leads up to the front of the house. And then on the left side of the map, that is everything behind the house. That is the backyard. The backyard is the area where you see Kirk and Pam approach the house when they first get there looking for gasoline. So back there, you can be sure that we're probably going to have a generator going, which is going to mask out some of the sound. Maybe the victims can turn it off and on, and there's various cars parked back there from the victims that the family have killed and taken their vehicles and stored back there in the backyard. You'll probably see some of those, including Maria Flores's car. Now, in the movie back there seem to be various barns and sheds and places to park cars and storage units and whatnot. Now, we didn't get to see in the film everything behind the house because, of course, it's shot in certain scenes. So there's probably a lot of creative freedom that we're going to see back there. But we did get to see that there is some fencing. I don't know if it's going to be the same as in the film, but there was fencing back there with sunflowers and whatnot. So it's safe to say that everything that you see as a square or rectangle block on the left and right side of the map are going to be some sort of storage units or sheds or a barn or some kind of tool shack of that nature. The little blobby areas are obviously either going to be bushes and trees and whatnot. And now, going inside the house, you see those arrows. Those arrows are stairs. Now, this is very interesting because you see the entrance right there, the porch area, and then the stairs that go upstairs and downstairs. We do not get to really see the upstairs portion of the house, which is probably a very small portion of the house. But we do get to see what is the level layer of the house in this map. So this is where it gets interesting. Look in the very center of the house, just past the up and down stairs, where you go into the red room with the skulls on the wall. When you're looking through the front door and you see the skulls on the wall. Well, instead of that back there having a left turn, like in the film, where you go into the skull red room and you take a left, and then that would be where Leatherface puts people up on hooks, and the freezer and everything is in there. Instead of that being there, it looks like there's a wall there, and it looks like it goes downstairs instead. Or it's either that, or you go through and the left turn is actually there, but what we're seeing is the stairs that kind of are in the next room over. Like you walk in, because it looks like if you look back there, the trap door is there, or there's a door back there, but you take a left turn right before that, circle around, and then there's a door that opens up and goes down into the basement from there, on the other side of the house. So on both opposite ends of the house, the left and the right, there's some stairs to get up and down from the basement. Okay, so there's a downstairs. Now we kind of come to the little black portions of the map that are around the house. I think this is underground tunnel system and a basement of sorts. So it seems like they're sort of combining the 2003 remake with the 1974 movie, which I am totally fine with. If there were a basement underneath the house, we never really got to see that. It could be, it's creative freedom, but I think it's a really smart take. And it looks like there's little dead ends and sneak points. And if you look up top there, it looks like there might be a way up into whatever shed that is on the top. And then you can come out into the outside portion. And there's another upstairs in the top left part of the house where you can come upstairs and be in that room. So you could see how this is going to kind of work as a stealth map, because you're going to be all over the place, sneaking around underground, coming up into the house, going upstairs, turning on and off the lights as they confirm there's going to be light switches, Light is going to play a big part of the game. I'm also kind of wondering what these other little rectangular marks are around the house. Are these little vent spaces? Can you get in and out there in those spaces? Who knows? Looks like if you look up top there on the top part of the house, which is the right side of the house, there's a door swing that kind of leads outside the house. Is there a side door, or is it a window that you can crawl out of? Are they all doors, or some of these windows? Because there's another one. If you look at the front porch there on the right side top of the house, there's another one that kind of leads to the front porch. Or are those underground? I don't know. So there's a lot of question marks about the house and how the gameplay is going to work around the house. Speaking more on the gameplay, let's kind of look at this map. This is a very realized, this isn't a huge map. It's small, contained. So how is this going to work with the family member and the survivors? So, how is, for example, let's talk about Leatherface's chainsaw. Is he going to be running around with it off or on? And when it's off, does this kind of let him sneak up on the survivors quietly before he either has to injure them or get close enough to them where he can crank it on? Because, if it's on, they're going to just always hear where you're at. If you're running around with your chainsaw on the entire match, people are going to know where Leatherface is. They're going to avoid you. So is it a strategy to kind of have Leatherface turn his chainsaw off and then use it when necessary? Maybe his speeds will change when it's on or off, or he has to charge it. It takes a little bit for him to cut it on to cause serious damage. You don't want to be around Leatherface with his chainsaw on. Stuff like that. Is the cook and the hitchhiker going to have to kind of injure the survivors before Leatherface can get his hands on them, type of deal? Like, what's going on with that? Hearing Leatherface's chainsaw around various parts of the map, knowing whether he's inside, outside, how close he is proximity-wise by hearing it, hearing other survivors getting chased. This could all add into the ambiance and the suspense of the whole experience. These are all really cool things to think about. So when you look at the map, what is the win factor of this? I'm assuming it's to escape, but how do you escape? Where do you escape? Are they trying to start a vehicle that's somewhere? I'm sure there's a lot of factors on the map that we can't see, you guys. That it looks like an empty space upon looking at this picture, but I'm sure there's a lot mingled inside that we just can't see. Vehicles, tools, other assets that we're going to have to kind of maneuver around, etc., all that kind of good stuff. So what is the win factor? Do we have to get a vehicle started and get the hell out of there? Are we going to be trying to get out of the house and run down the driveway and get out that way somehow? Maybe there's I don't know. It can't be something as simple as a gate to unlock, because they could climb over the gate. So the question is, what is the end goal of the victims on the map? But yeah, other than that, I'm really liking it so far. It looks really cool. Can't wait to see the gas. I'm really looking forward to the gas station map, because I'm like, okay, they're going to have to take a lot of creative freedom around the gas station, because we don't see anything around that. So that's just going to be a whole thing. Maybe is there forest around the gas station? Like, is it just going to be a scary woods experience, and then there's the gas station by the side of the highway? Very interesting to think about. And then the slaughterhouse is going to be an obvious big indoor kind of a map, so that'll be interesting. Let's talk about this in the comments. I'm sure I haven't covered everything here. I'm sure there's more to talk about on this than just what is right in front of me on this map here. There's got to be a lot more. I'm looking forward to it. Let's have a conversation about this. As the maps start to release, I will talk about each one. You guys have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.